Hello everybody and welcome to this episode of Let's Build in The Sims 4. Now today, we've got a very special little episode. There's a lot of little things going on, and it's another huge one. So I don't know if you guys like big episodes or not, but you're getting one anyway because I want to squeeze a story into so many days and stuff like that. Now, this section, as you can see, is a lot of nothing. It's probably going to be that way for a couple minutes because I was trying to look up a building to base the Edgar's house on. And it took me a long time to think of something or to, just browse through different sorts of things. I thought maybe I'll make the screen only half of its size, and then I thought, no, I'll do full screen because I printed off a picture of this. So I'm also sorry, you guys, for the lack of frequency with my episodes because yesterday I did a live stream and so yeah, a lot of this was built yesterday and today, this morning, so there's a lot of things that are going on, and I don't mean to be such a slacker. But, yeah. So I eventually decided on this one house that I saw. I don't think the original house exists anymore, but somebody built a replica of it. That's really cool. It's another house that's in the New England area. I think it might be Massachusetts. I'm not sure. I don't quite remember. But anyway, yeah, I built a lot of this while trying to finish up the case of Charles Dexter Ward. So it's really good little thingy-madoody. The goober sort of dealio. So, as with the other households as of late, this one, it just doesn't have a whole lot going on the inside. Most of the interest is on the outside because I didn't feel like spending that much time on each individual room. So the Sims that'll live here, the Edgars, will have pretty much the basics. There'll be a kitchen, a bedroom, and a bathroom, and that's it. Well, and a ton of plants, but we'll get into that later. Yeah, this is a very plant-heavy type of area. Lots of plants out here. Also, I wanted the Edgars to grow plants because they are going to be our general store owners, our general store / pharmacist. But just between you and me, I'm gonna call it a chemist. It's more European sounding. That's what they call it over in England. Because, yeah, one of them, I haven't really decided which quite yet, is going to learn some herbalism, and they're gonna just plant some things. Oh, which reminds me of the status of the story that I have. I was thinking about, after I get finished building all of the buildings in here, going back and kind of amending some of the story parts of this build. Because I have a blog loaded up, and it's in the description. As always, you're highly encouraged to check it out to see information about all these families and little things you might not have noticed or known. But yeah, I've decided that I might. Yeah, I decided I might. But yeah, I've been looking into rewriting those stories and putting them in a more, I don't know, forum-friendly format, because a lot of the things that I noticed over at the Sims forums is that a lot of people have a WordPress account or something similar where they post their stories after they're finished. So I was thinking about, not after they're finished, but that's where they post the chapters and stuff. In the forum, there directly, that's where you put the comments and stuff like that, where people provide you with your feedback and that sort of thing. So I was thinking that that might be a good way to try to get some more eyes on this. I'm just so scatterbrained about all of these little details, you know? There's so much going on, and I really want to get into a lot of it. So I also thought about maybe doing something more with the Sims stories that I've been making. Maybe turning that into a type of creepypasta type thing and sharing that. So you see, I've had a lot of ideas. I'm not very good at implementing them. but I try. And like, these are just ideas, so whether they turn anything or not into anything or not, which it's probably gonna be nothing. Probably. So, especially since I don't want to get anybody's hopes up and then have there be nothing. Sorry. Just drinking some of my Diet Coke. It's amazing how dry your voice gets when you're talking like this. I normally don't talk for extended periods of time. I don't know how live streamers do it. I've tried to do a couple live streams before, but I'm basically awful when it comes to things like keeping an eye on chat and things like that. And so it really bums me out too, because there's only a couple of people who ever stop by chat, and then I miss it, and then it's like half an hour after they've posted something, and it's like, whoa. And I've tried different sorts of things. I've tried having a small window. I mean, I could still mess with the size of my windows. Maybe get something a little bit more conducive. That's a bad thing though, because when you don't have this program in windowed full screen on my laptop, which is where I have everything on my laptop, it runs slower. I don't know why. I've also tried using some of the old TVs that I have as second monitors, and I've been met with very limited success. While they're nice, and it's really great that I'm able to use them like that, it's so tiny, and the text from the chat is so blurry. It's very hard to get it to look right. I cannot talk today. So that's an issue. I don't know if you guys like me narrating every single thing that's going on the screen, or if you like me talking about different things. I mean, obviously I'm gonna explain something if I think it needs explaining, but I don't know. You know, I've been thinking about some of my favorites, people who do things like this. I really enjoy, I know he does something kind of different. He does Binding of Isaac, but I really enjoy Northern Lion. He's a lot of fun to watch. Because he's in the vein of mildly interesting things to look at when you're doing something like knitting or trying to get to sleep or something like that. And yeah, a lot of times he won't even talk about the game. He'll just make passing references to the game, and then he'll just do a bunch of, I don't know if he still just talks about music trivia. It was like just music trivia there, and dad jokes. I like dad jokes. I like bad puns, all those sorts of things. I don't know if this is the longest video I've ever done, because if it is, it's by a little baby margin, because maybe by a couple minutes. So this is 48 minutes, just almost exactly like 1 second off from being 48 minutes long. Yeah, I think the longest one up until this point was 44 minutes. So I'm breaking new records all the time. These time lapses, they take quite a while. I had about 8 hours of footage for this, to produce this. That's how long it took. But that's not what the bulk of my time is spent doing. Okay, well, it kind of is, building. A huge portion of that time is also spent just rendering things, rendering time lapses, rendering the audio and the video once I've got that all pieced together. That sort of thing is what takes the vast majority of my time. Everything else is pretty much a piece of cake. Not that you guys like to be ringed or anything about that. I was trying to look for some plants to put around the garden. As I said before, Mr. and Mrs. Edgar. Mr. and Mrs. Edgar own a little store in town, so I started off by building this, and then I realized, hey, later on I realized, yeah, hey, I can have all of these same plants on the store lot. That way, they don't have to ever leave the house or store. They can just live above the store. Like in ye olde times. I don't know if they did that in ye olde times. And pretty soon we'll go into the part where, I think I'm making the Edgars at this point. Pretty soon after that there will be the part of, playing stuff. Yeah, I'm making them. Then I'll be in live mode, and yeah, right now I was just trying to find a suitable husband because I didn't really feel like doing a bunch of detailed work. So Matthias, I'm never sure how to say that name. I just want to call him, can I just call you Matthew? I don't know how to say Matthew. Matthias? But I went with it because it looked old, you know. Could have named him something like Josiah or Ezra. I don't know. And I went with June for the wife because she looked like a June. I don't really know if I'm very fond of month names, but I went with it anyway. Just like I'm not really fond of Bliss's name, because I think Bliss is not a name, but it is there for the references. You know? God, I've always got to make something into a reference. I don't know why. It's like, it's only you that's going to get that. Like, I know. And if somebody else does get it, you know what they're going to say? Oh, they're going to say, God, that's so tacky. Why did you do that? Tacky. Sorry again. I know, not a whole lot of creativity with Miss June's outfits, because her formal wear definitely looks like several other Sims formal wear. I mean, it's no big deal because you're not really gonna see it other than when they walk by randomly. Sometimes they'll be wearing formal wear. Yeah, you're not really gonna see it much. Yeah, and I thought about creating a little daughter because I thought, oh, isn't she kind of cute? And then I played around with her face some more, and I probably messed with something that I shouldn't because her face is really square, and I don't know, it started looking weird to me, especially after makeup. That's the lesson, just don't have her wear any makeup. The features are too strong, and I was like, how am I gonna soften them? Oh, what am I gonna do with her either? I don't know. So, the Edgars are just, without kids. No kids for the Edgars. That's okay. Of course, testing cheats on, and I did the motherload cheat a bunch of times just so they would be able to purchase a lot, as well as keeping their needs topped off, because this is the background phase. This isn't the actually taking care of people phase. I find that I normally play with all the needs kind of turned off. I know some people might say, oh boy, that's where's the challenge in that? I don't know, it just feels way more grindy to me if I have to deal with their needs, because these Sims, I forgot how long it takes them to eat a simple meal. I mean, forget the cooking. Like, them just eating it, they spend hours, and they don't just, like, eat it like a normal person. They have to take pauses after every single bite and smell their food, look around, and then they take another bite. They gotta sing themselves a little song. I don't understand it. Like, if I'm hungry, I eat. My mind is on that food. It is not anywhere else. I don't understand these Sims. It felt way faster to have your Sims eat in The Sims 3. I don't know if that's true. but it just felt like it, because, you know, they didn't do the looking around sort of thing. They didn't do the smelling the food after every bite thing. I mean, I would understand it if that were a more foodie type trait, where a foodie might take longer because they're smelling it, stuff like that. It's just weird. You just put the food in your mouth. Sims, you're so weird, Sims. Don't understand you. I might have been eating lunch at that point. Sorry about the long pause. Sometimes I wonder if I should cut out the long pauses, but then that's extra work and I'm talking, so maybe me talking will carry you through. That's my hope anyway. And I'm just going around and trying to get rid of bad outfits. And I'm trying to delete spawned in Sims, because I hate those. I absolutely hate them. Because every sim I make is carefully crafted. Carefully crafted to suit the world. And then you got random people, and it's so frustrating. I wish they would let you turn that off. I wish. Just set townie generations to 0. And oh, I've got mods. That are supposed to help with that. Biggest gripe with this game. Oh, I probably said something else was the biggest, but as of right now, it's my biggest gripe with the game. Because, yeah, it's really hard to create a world when you've got random Sims popping up. And then Lilith just shows up. Lilith Vittore. Sorry, Lilith, get away from me. I'm gardening. Don't you have a garden at 2 in the morning? It's like he was wearing that stupid chef hat. That was the 3rd time I saw Caleb with a stupid chef hat. It's like, game, what are you doing to me? Why do you do that, game? And in here, I decided to plant some things from the Outdoor Retreat expansion. Yeah, and so I got a bunch of toxic and non-toxic items. And I did a very similar thing later on at the... What is it called again? At the general store, yeah. Because it's supposed to be a chemist type of thing, along with general merchandise. I'm always amazed at what the different Sims want to buy. Like, you'll see it later on. Everybody wanted this one outfit. It's just kind of silly. Poor Ephraim. Oh, he couldn't get around anywhere. He kept on saying he was ready, but then he was sort of stuck in this corner, and I don't know, he left when I closed it, but it was annoying. Another annoying thing is that the Sims have to stand for a few seconds and do nothing after they plant everything. So everything you do takes longer, and I don't know why they do it this way. probably just to make me mad. Because this is 1,000 times faster. And I already had this on maximum. Maximum. So... not 1,000 times. 10 times, sorry, not 1,000 times. 10 times, 1,000%. Get those confused. I've never been very good at math, okay? Not a math person. And they're mopping together, so I had to snap a photo. They're just so adorable. Then the neighbors showed up, so of course I had to welcome them in. There's Ephraim and, well, you only see Ephraim right now, but later Asenath and Bliss come along too. Yeah, there's Bliss. It was okay, they just talked for a while. It's kind of nice having two Sims. I don't think I would have them... I don't think they'd be able to manage this garden just by themselves, so... Oh, that's the librarian. Yeah, a little bit after last episode, I tried to get some more pictures of Asenath and Bliss at the library, and another librarian spawned. I guess because they work in shifts. But it was... You know my thoughts on it. They always have some weird looking sim. Weirdest looking sim imaginable. After you spend so much time trying to make your Sims, if not completely attractive, at least unoffensive looking, you know? Yeah, not everybody can be beautiful, but you at least want to... I don't know. Just don't want somebody looks like they got dressed in the dark and then I don't know. Just don't know what clothes look like. It's like this is the first time they've ever seen clothes. So yeah, they just don't know how to dress themselves. They have no concept of color or coordination. No concept of anything. No concept of time and place, definitely. Walking around at midnight wearing fancy dress. Another thing, and I know there are mods out there that fix this, so thank you, modders. Another thing that kind of annoys me is how they always play on their phone. It's just, don't play on your phone. You're ruining my immersion game. You are ruining it. So, it's not easy to make old-timey Sims in this game. It wants to thwart you at every step of the way. It goes, oh, so you wanted to create something perfect and have it, and wanted your town to have its own atmosphere? That's funny. And, you know, it's especially bad in this game. I don't know if I just didn't notice it or what in The Sims 3, but it wasn't nearly as bad. I mean, it seems like you could have turned it off or something. But no, there's like nothing for this game. And I'm gonna keep complaining about those towny generation thing because it gets on my nerves so bad. You have no clue. Okay, maybe you do if you're a control freak like I am. It's just... No. You know, as I talked about before, this game kind of lets me let out... Oh dear. Just kind of spilled. Don't worry, I've got paper towels. Ah, sorry for the noise. I just spilled on myself. Yeah, we're good. Nothing was harmed, thankfully. Anyway, but when you would get random Sims in The Sims 3, it's kind of funny because you always knew the ones that were random. Well, you do in this game too, but they would have like this. A lot of I have the Katy Perry Sweet Treats expansion for that game. I know, that's crazy, but the people, they would sometimes generate people with purple hair and this one hairstyle from that expansion pack, and it's just like this one candy afro or one of those hairstyles with a little heart on top. If you have the expansion, you probably know what I'm talking about. It was always funny to watch. And they were way fewer and further between. Sorry for the noise, I just... gotta have a sip. Anyway, I think I like the shop a little bit better than I like the building. I don't know, it's probably because it just goes with everything, and there's kind of a style here that I've set up. So I tried to add a lot of spikes and things like that to this building because I live in a town that's got some old buildings and some old-fashioned houses and things like that, and a lot of times in towns like mine, the opera house in a town would have spikes on it. Would have spikes like on the roof and on top of windows so that birds wouldn't nest there, and those buildings would be fancier too. Obviously this isn't quite an opera house, but it does have some spiky things on it. I just love I just love more traditional architecture. I know that it's not everybody's favorite. Lots of people tend to favor modern things, but I don't know. I just like it. It feels way cozier to me, and I don't know, it probably has to do with, you know, growing up where I grew up in an old town with lots of older buildings, because and this isn't true of all modern type buildings, but a lot of them, they look like they don't have that attention to detail that these old houses tend to do. I mean, especially like the super modern ones. I don't know, there are some pretty modern buildings out there with lots of glass windows and things like that, natural elements. Old houses are really hard to take care of, though, because there's a lot of things that break. Lots of things break with age, and yeah, a lot of times there's newer technology that it's not, that it doesn't have, and all sorts of things like that. They take a lot of money and time to restore too. And yeah, they're very pretty though. We used to live in this really big old house back when I was like 5. It was up until I was about 5. Or like I was a year old until I was 5, thereabouts. And it had 3 stories, and it was built entirely out of stone, so I would guess, I don't know what I would call the style of it, except maybe colonial Greek revival type of thingy. But I think it was built like in the 1830s or something like that. Had this really long, winding driveway, and the garage was a separate part of the house. It was a separate garage. Yeah, I think I went to get lunch at this point. I mean, I think. Otherwise, I don't think I had 2 lunches. I think this was definitely lunch. And the time before wasn't lunch. Anyway, that house had a huge chandelier in the hallway, and it had these stairs that would just go up. It had a couple of secret passages too. I mean, really, maybe not secret, more like servant passageways where servants would go and bring things up. So yeah, I'm trying to make this sim look a little bit like a flapper. Just trying to create a very playful, slim type of look, because that was style back then. This one's just a sporty look. It could be from a century ago, it could be modern. Who knows? I don't know how that one doesn't fall over. I don't know how it maintains its balance. Added some folded clothes and some towels. I don't know why there's towels next to it, but there's towels. There's only one stack of folded clothes like that, really. So I added some side tables and some more little shelves and things. The rug. As well as one set of paintings right up there. And I left the next room over pretty much blank because this is where I put the living quarters, although it's very unfinished in terms of living quarters. As far as living quarters go, it's more like a kitchen / greenhouse. So there are a lot of little vegetables and, not little vegetables, it's the herbs from the, whatchamacallit, expansion, the outdoor retreat expansion. So yeah, I've really surprised at how quickly the time has flown by. Like 40 minutes already? Are you kidding me? I must be getting somewhat good at this. I don't know. Maybe I'm still trying to figure out what time of day and what works best for me. Maybe it isn't even the time of day. Maybe it's something else that I can't really put my finger on. Wish you could. There's not so many. You only have so many letters to type in the name. I wish you had like 100. So I could use 100. Little ear jack on my headphones went out. These headphones have like this male to male ear jack. So there's one that goes into the headphones themselves and one that goes into the headphone port on the computer. They're really nice because the thing that breaks most often on headphones are the wires, and I go through so many headphone wires. And I like these because they're really nice headphones, and it would be a shame to throw them away because one of their parts goes bad. A lot of headphones though, it's not really worth replacing, so I've also got this really good quality headphone cable. So things are really good. I think a lot of this has to do with, I work from a laptop, so I have to pick things up and move them around and all that jazz. Now they're moving at a reasonable speed, putting things away. I had him search for things and I deleted a few stems because they were bugging me. Rage! No! Why are you wearing a turban? That looks silly. It's almost as ridiculous. This guy went out in a chef hat. Though, even though he's not a chef and he was not in a kitchen. Caleb, what is wrong with you? Caleb. Wonder why he's named Caleb. Well, another one. Bye. And let's just get rid of you. Yeah, I mean, I might have gone with Kane or something. But that's just me. Maybe that would have been too weird if they were brother and sister. That would have been way too weird. I think when I get into the challenge part of this challenge, I'm definitely gonna name one of the kids Kane. Just because. Like, Kane, what are you doing? I'm just raising me. Have him be like a double child going around and just causing all types of trouble. That would be wonderful. No, that's my toy. That would entertain me way too much. I'd also like to name a sim Charles Dexter. Or a hospital. Charles Dexter. Call it the Charles Dexter Ward. Oh, and we're about 3.5 minutes away from the end. Well, 2.5. I guess I should start wrapping up, but I was just so amazed at how crowded this store was. Like, the second I opened it, and it was lagging like crazy. Just stuttering beyond belief. I can see that slowdown there. There were like 15 people on the lot at this point. It was jammed to the max. Oh boy. That's another thing that takes stupidly long in this game. Ringing people up and restacking. Oh my gosh, restacking should not take an hour. I don't know, I don't work in a real store. I mean, I imagine there's a lot to things, like reordering things, but those are done at different stages. And yeah, I don't know. It's just, oh. So there's only a minute left before we go. I just want to say thank you guys for showing up again and putting up with me talking and watching this. I appreciate it. You guys don't even know. I hope you guys have a great rest of the day, and please don't forget to check out the links in the description, especially the challenge page. And I'll see you next time. Bye!